This is the story of Bob Nygaard, a high school student whose quest for academic success led him down a dark path, culminating in a shocking crime that would rock his privileged community. It's a tale of intense pressure, fierce competition, and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. The pursuit of perfection, it seemed, had twisted into a destructive force. Bob Nygaard was a seemingly model student at an elite private school. He excelled in academics, participated in extracurricular activities, and had a bright future ahead of him. He was the kind of student that teachers praised and parents envied. But beneath his polished exterior, Bob harbored a deep insecurity and an unrelenting need to achieve, a gnawing fear of failure that he desperately tried to conceal. He felt immense pressure to get perfect grades and gain admission to a top-tier university. His parents, while supportive, also placed high expectations on him. They believed in him, but their constant emphasis on success created an environment where anything less than perfection felt like a personal failure. He also saw his friends getting the top grades in their test and wondered how they managed to do that. He couldn't help but wonder if everyone else had an unfair advantage. The suspicion fueled his desperation. As the pressure mounted, Bob began to explore unethical means to improve his grades. He started by cheating on small quizzes, gradually escalating to larger exams. He developed a network of classmates who were willing to share answers and provide him with advanced copies of tests. The more he cheated, the easier it became, blurring the lines between right and wrong. His moral compass began to spin, leading him further down a dangerous path. One of Bob's classmates, Sarah Collins, was known for her exceptional academic abilities. She consistently achieved perfect scores and was seen as Bob's main rival. Sarah was everything that Bob aspired to be: intelligent, confident, and genuinely passionate about learning. Bob became increasingly envious of Sarah's success, viewing her as an obstacle to his own ambitions. His admiration twisted into resentment, and he saw Sarah not as a peer, but as an enemy. Bob suspected that Sarah was also cheating, but he couldn't prove it. This suspicion, whether founded or not, only intensified his resentment. He felt that Sarah's success was somehow undeserved, that she was playing by different rules. His perception became warped by jealousy, blinding him to reason and empathy. Driven by desperation and a twisted sense of justification, Bob hatched a plan to sabotage Sarah. He decided to frame her for cheating, hoping to ruin her reputation and academic prospects. He spent sleepless nights plotting and scheming, his mind consumed by the desire to bring Sarah down. He knew that if Sarah was disgraced, he would be the one to come out on top, securing his place at the top of the academic ladder. Bob planted evidence in Sarah's locker, making it appear as though she had stolen a copy of an upcoming exam. He then anonymously reported Sarah to the school administration. He carefully orchestrated the scene, making sure that the evidence was convincing and that his own involvement would remain hidden. His deception was calculated and cold-blooded. Sarah vehemently denied the allegations, but the evidence seemed damning. She was suspended from school and faced expulsion. Her academic future hung in the balance. The weight of the accusations crushed her, shattering her confidence and sense of self-worth. However, Sarah was determined to clear her name. She launched her own investigation, meticulously gathering evidence to prove her innocence. She discovered Bob's involvement in the cheating ring and uncovered his motive for framing her. She painstakingly pieced together the puzzle, determined to expose Bob's lies and reclaim her reputation. Confronted with Sarah's evidence, Bob's carefully constructed facade began to crumble. He confessed to his actions, admitting that he had framed Sarah out of jealousy and ambition. He had become a monster chasing high grades, sacrificing everything, including his own conscience, in the pursuit of academic validation. But his actions had already had devastating consequences. Sarah, unable to cope with the stress and humiliation of the accusations, took her own life. The weight of Bob's actions bore down on her until she could no longer endure it. Her death was a tragic and senseless loss. Bob Nygaard was arrested and charged with manslaughter. The case sent shockwaves through the community, exposing the dark underbelly of academic pressure and the tragic consequences of unchecked ambition. Bob's actions had left a trail of devastation and despair, leaving him to contemplate the ruins of his dreams, forever haunted by the consequences of his choices.